Only a slightly softer thud from the door. Mrs. Jones must have gone to bed, and she wouldn't be able to hear it from her rooms behind the kitchen. He sighed. He could ring the bell and wake her, but he wasn't going to sleep any time soon. Didn't he want to be independent again? Gingerly, he eased himself forward in the chair, setting his left foot on the floor. With a hard shove, he was on his feet, unsteady until he got his crutch set. The corridor was dark, only a faint light bleeding up the stairs. As he reached the head of the stairs, there was another great thump from below, with a gust of cold air. Alternating between cursing and holding his breath, he hobbled down the stairs to see the front door, unbarred and unlatched, swing slowly open as the wind caught it. Puzzled, Sebastian propped his shoulder against the doorframe and caught the door as it blew toward him again. The heavy bar that should have held it closed lay across the threshold, preventing the door from slamming closed. Normally it fit across the jambs to prevent the door being opened from the outside. It was as if someone had removed the bar and simply dropped it. The back of his neck prickled. Only one person in the house would do that, but Michael Vane was securely locked in his room upstairs. Sebastian did it himself every night, for his father's own good. Still, he pushed the door open and peered out. The moon was a thin crescent, and the cold wind whipped the shrubbery and trees into frenzied waving. But the sky was clear of clouds, and there was enough light to see that the grounds were deserted. He shook his head. It must have been the housekeeper, who was no doubt exhausted to the point of delirium. He closed the door and dropped the bar into place before limping up the stairs to his room again. He had barely settled into his chair, though, when there was another thumping from below. This time it wasn't the door itself, but someone pounding on the door. "Vane!" cried a familiar voice over the moaning wind. "Damn you, Vane! Wake up!" The pounding continued as Sebastian made his way back down the stairs, cursing all the while this time as his knee burned. He wrestled the bar up and away, whereupon the visitor threw open the door and surged over the threshold. "Where is she?" demanded Benedict Lennox. "So help me, Vane, if you've touched her—" "Who?" "Samantha," spat Benedict. Sebastian's eyebrows shot up. "Why would your sister be here at this time of night? She's only 16. Which is probably why she's gone and done such an idiotic thing." Benedict lowered his voice. "If you just produce her now, I'll take her home with no questions or arguments. No one else knows she's missing yet." Sebastian's mouth thinned. "She's not here." Benedict glared at him. "No? She told me she's in love with you, and has been for years." "Schoolgirl infatuation," Sebastian said, in a low voice. "But a headstrong, impulsive schoolgirl could easily be persuaded to throw a lot in with her." He stopped abruptly, but Sebastian could fill in the rest. A madman's son, crippled and destitute. "How flattering," he said evenly. "I never guessed my personal charms would be strong enough to persuade an earl's daughter to throw herself away on me, bankrupt and lame though I am." Benedict's eyes flashed with fury. "You know she would elope with you if you asked," he snarled. "But I didn't," Sebastian pointed out. It made no difference. Benedict had already headed down the corridor, opening each door he passed. Sebastian stood listening to the search in impotent humiliation. He knew Samantha had once fancied herself in love with him, but it was calf love. Even if it wasn't, she had to know that her father, the Earl of Stratford, would never allow her to marry the son of mad Michael Vane. Everyone knew it, and it had made Samantha's infatuation, once something amusing and flattering, into yet another source of mortification.